pretty good. It was pretty good. It wasn't bad.
I was over here telling everybody, that my turkey sounded too much like a pigeon, and then they were like, do it. And I actually just did a pigeon thing. It was
Sounds like a cat.
And this brings us to our public safety announcement. Don't drink too much coffee before a podcast.
This also brings us to our second public safety announcement. Don't be too much of a Paul Clements before podcast.
There you go.
Oh man, I am your host and speech teacher, Mr. Paul Clements. We're joined here by the usual suspects. Can't even speak today, and I'm a speech teacher.
It's all right.
We've got Kinley Jacqueline. Say hello.
Hey.
We also have Kelsey. She's all the way over on the other side of the room here.
Hey.
We've got McGuire Esto.
Hey.
And we've got the one and only Dr. Travis Moore.
Hello.
All right. So it is November. The door is open. So McGuire's gonna fix that here real quick. It's I'm just thinking more of like the custodial staff is like, what is going on over there?
Like, is there a turkey loose in that room, or what's going on?
There's a turkey mixed in with a whole bunch of pigeons and maybe an owl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Oh man, that brings me to some bird stories, but we'll talk about that here in a bit though. But it is the first week of November. No podcast last week. We had a newspaper that came out. Go and check that out. The Wildcat Clause. First paper of the semester. We're going to try to make it quarterly. But do bear with us though if it's not always quarterly, not always on time type of thing. I think I have my mic off. There we go. Boom. Hello. Hello, free world.
You had it off the whole time?
I had my mic all the way down, but I think everybody was able to hear me just fine. Now I've got the gain all the way up. All right. So apologies to those of you who are wearing headphones and you heard my voice constantly like that. Okay. Dr. Moore's like, get with the point. All right. It's a Thursday. It's we're in the middle of this hybrid thing. And, I think we've had a good couple of weeks now with hybrid. First time, our first week with full remote on a Monday. So we'll get the teachers' perspectives here in a moment, but let's get the students' perspectives. What were your guys' thoughts on that first full remote Monday?
Monday wasn't bad. It was just like being a hybrid day.
Yeah, it was fine.
It didn't feel like anything different.
Okay, it was just a third day of being online, right?
Yeah.
What are you guys finding with those hybrid days? Like, do you find it easier? Do you find it harder? Or is it just dependent on class by class?
No, it's pretty easy, I think.
It's better than spring, obviously, but yeah, I kind of like it.
Yeah, I like hybrid.
It doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Remote would bother me.
Yeah.
But this
isn't
bad at all.
And I think that's been the general consensus that we've been receiving throughout the hallways here at Haven High School is that it's better than the spring. And I tend to agree. Dr. Moore, what about you?
Yeah, I kind of made it a point, and anytime we move to something like this, for me, going around and just kind of informally surveying kids, like I'll go out to our library and during PLT and talk to kids about it on both days, I won't divulge any names, but I did talk to one kiddo the other day, and she said, I said, how's hybrid going for her? And she goes, what I said, what do you not like? And she said, well, I don't like that I have to check in every hour. And I said, okay. And I said, what do you like? And she said, well, I like that I have to check in every hour.
Yeah, I get that.
And I was like, what? And I was like, okay, I don't understand. She said, she pretty much just kind of said it's not it's not convenient to check in every hour, but it keeps me on track. And I thought, okay. So I think what we're seeing is our kids understand, number one, this isn't a model we would put our kids in if we didn't have to.
Right.
I think number two, the kids understand that what we're doing is set up for their success this year. You know what I mean? Last spring was hard just because we were thrown this, you know, and our teachers tried to survive and do the best they could with our kids. This year we're organized. We're on a singular platform when it comes to your class.
Yeah.
You get on Google Docs.
And we know what COVID is. I also feel like it was terrifying because we were like, what is this?
Well, and we still had some kids that were doing hand done packets, and I was up here in the building, the only guy in the building that was copying them and sending them to the teachers digitally.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm wearing gloves and a mask, and I'm going, is this going to protect? You know, because
is this going to even help? Yeah.
Now that we have a little better feel of the virus and how we can help mitigate or prevent exposure and spread, I think we're in better shape. I think our kids are more comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think here's what it is too. I think a lot of people are over COVID, but COVID's just not over us yet, you know. And,
Right.
And that's a hard thing. Anytime you do restrictions or suppress something, it gets frustrating, and you don't want to. You know what I mean? You don't want to continue to do it, and man, it's hard. But I'll tell you. Here's what I tell other people from other buildings. I had some other administrators from another district talking to me about their challenges with it, and honestly, they've got some challenges we don't, you know, which is great. But I had one ask me, and he said, well, what's the difference? We're doing this and you're doing this, and how are you successful? And one of my replies was, who are the people in your building?
Mm-hmm.
Our staff is on board doing this. Our kids are okay with doing it. They're not just absolutely in love with it, but they're doing it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They know it's what needs to be done to get through. And I think that concerted effort by our students and our staff is what's making us successful in this, honestly. It is not my favorite thing to do. But here's what I love about it. I'm sitting here right now with 3 kids, and we're in the middle of hybrid. I'm not sitting here with no kids. And I know it's hard when, you got a girlfriend or boyfriend on the other day or a good friend, and that's tough. But on the other hand, you do get to see other people. There are still people here. You're still connecting. Our teachers still get to grab you by the ear, right, kiddos, and be like, what are you doing? Why didn't you get this done? Or touch base with me, you know what I mean?
And all of the extracurriculars, too. Like everything.
Still be able to keep those things alive for a little longer, too. And I hated not having softball in the spring and not having baseball and prom and track. I'm telling you, it's nails to my stomach every time I still even say the word prom, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just, we had to, and it doesn't feel good, but we're pushing through. We're making changes this year. I'm so proud of all the kids and how they're doing problem solving, which is one of our employability skill things, but it's real life this year. It really means something. Watching you guys take things and run with it and make adjustments and, well, we can't do this, but can we do that? Holy cow. Those are skills that any other class before us hasn't had to do,
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right. And, I think also what's been helping out too is that we're not in, the students are not in remote like 100% of the time. Like on the days that it's remote days, the very next day, it's in-person days. And I think that helps. I mean, like for me, maybe not for maybe you guys have a different reason as to why it's better this way. I know for me, like when this whole thing dropped, first of all, like it was like, like a sucker punch coming out of left field, really. But I mean, this one we were like, okay, we can kind of see this coming. We can, prepare for it. But I think the other thing too was that, like for me, when it was March, by the time mid-April rolled around, I was already like, I had cabin fever.
Absolutely.
There were times where I would just walk around my apartment just because I'm walking around my apartment. And I can just imagine, how that was for others as well, just not being able to go anywhere and all of that. So, I mean, you know, a lot of that takes a toll. That takes a toll on the mindset and all that. And you know, it was great that we had a chance to take you know, to get in person with students, and you know, and then yeah, we got to this point. But this is much better than hybrid, or sorry, this is much better than remote. And in all honesty, you know. I mean, I think as far as right now, what we've been able to do as a building, and I think ultimately as a district, has been, you know, mitigating the numbers.
Yeah, you know, one thing we kind of looked at was, number one, Monday being that hybrid day,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm sorry, that remote day. One thing we have done is we've been able to identify a few of the kids in what we call Tier 3, which is if you're failing or not doing well in, you know, X amount of classes, or you were quarantined and missed a couple weeks, you know, there's a couple, maybe 10 or 15 kids we can still drag in on Monday to get some extra help to get them that little boost to go back to remote. Does that make sense? And that's been helpful. What's hard about not doing a remote on Monday is we do our gating in a 1 week cycle. So every week I get on and tell you guys what?
If we're hybrid or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if we did what you call an A-B schedule, which was AL and MZ, right? We have those two groups. If AL is A and MZ is Group B, and we went A, B, A, B, A, see? You'd have 3 lessons in person and 2 lessons, right?
Yeah.
Then the next week you'd have
2
lessons and they'd have 3. Does that make sense? Well, that is good on a 2 week cycle, but we're not on a 2 week cycle.
Oh, yeah.
And
so
so
like,
your lessons would be odd even. Does that make sense? And so
if
your
we,
teachers
like-
wouldn't be able to keep things as equal. And that's really hard for a teacher to try and catch you guys up when you get there. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I like I think the Monday remote day like makes sense too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If we did a 2 week cycle, I think once we got into it a while with Monday, I'd been comfortable maybe looking at that as a possibility.
Yeah.
But right now, if we're in 1 week cycles with it, it kind of makes sense. And then Mondays also help prepare us in case this thing just unleashed and got, I mean, even worse. And the health department or somebody says, nope, everybody in the county is remote no matter what, or something like that. We'd be ready for remote.
and
our
then
teachers have practiced it. Our kids have practiced it. So.
And Monday this week was more of like a setup for the rest of the week for my classes. Like we did like I think Ashworth, we set up our notes for the rest of the week.
Right.
Like if that makes sense. So I kind of like it. Because I can do notes from home like super easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think so far,
I
success.
haven't heard from these two over here.
I know.
I think one of them is asleep.
I'm talking too much. What's your
Half
thoughts?
asleep, I'm just tired.
And you're not going to hurt my feelings, guys. Trust me. So,
Just like on hybrid.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I enjoy it. Like
you?
the time at home.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like school's fine, but like I feel like I'd rather be in hybrid this year since we have to wear masks at school and stuff. But like if it was just regular, I'd rather be at school every day.
Yeah. Right.
But
Yeah.
since
Yeah, but it gives you like a mass break like every other day.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
So like
then-
this year, I kind of like it just being in hybrid. Like it's fine.
You know, I tell you, we found some other things that came from this, which has been interesting. Talking about mass breaks is like having lunch outside.
Mm-hmm.
Having some kids don't take advantage, some love it.
Yeah,
Some go out there.
I always eat
Yeah.
outside.
go out
Well,
there
the
and-
lunchroom isn't as loud now.
Right, and
Yeah.
it's been kind of neat because our kids, they go out there, and I'll tell you, there is a difference, even if it's mask or no mask. Going outside for 30 minutes in a day, just to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There-
Yeah.
Something about going outside to me that
Outside, yeah, like you just kind
kind
of.
of brings a little peace to me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? To kind of, okay, go back to it. You know what I mean? And so.
McGuire brought up a good point. The lunchroom is nowhere near as loud now, especially now that there's only half the population.
And
Well, yeah, that too. But
And
middle
lots-
school's
like,
out
yeah.
in there this year.
yeah, when everybody, when everybody
No knock on the
was-
middle school kids. We love you guys.
But like when everybody is in there and we still had the outside
Yeah.
option, it didn't feel as crammed.
Oh yeah, especially
Yeah.
like compared to like last year where like I had
Everybody
like
would-
half the people
yeah.
coming in here because
Yeah, we ate
because
in
it
Miss
was loud.
Wheel's room.
Yeah.
But everybody ate at like the same time last year too.
Right, and that's what we're saying. Having that middle school at a different time, we did that because of COVID. But what we're finding is there's things like that we're doing because of COVID that
It's
we're
actually
going,
helping.
Wow, this could be something that we look at doing more or less of, or whatever. And it's been kind of neat. It's just there's no way this has been a good thing with COVID. Don't get me
Oh,
wrong.
no.
But there are some things that we're finding out that we've been pushed to have to do that have been interesting. Is this getting you guys ready if you decide to go to college? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's the same, like same wise. Well, and so, like, I have a friend who's in college, and his classes are online too. So like they're doing the same thing.
Right.
I feel like so it's kind of like on the same wavelength. And then like calculus, I can still come in for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not. That one's not really worried.
Yeah, we made some provisions with that, just with our college courses, to allow those kids to come in daily still, because they have to meet so many seat minutes. CNA was another one big
Yeah,
for us.
that's what I'm in.
Yep, and we knew that we needed to try and get you
Yeah,
guys
we
still.
come every day because we were
'Cause
missing so much
If you miss
time.
like 2 days, aren't you like don't you have to drop it or something?
There was no, you have like 5 days,
5.
Right.
but like we were
But that
doing
adds up
it.
quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially if you've already missed like from appointments or something, you just weren't here.
You know, making those adjustments, it was how do we keep kids' dreams alive this year? I think that was part of it, you know what I mean? And what do we have to do to keep those dreams alive? Football right now is having a great run.
I
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
so
feels
happy.
good.
So
for them.
proud of these guys, you know, I'll tell you, man, to have the challenges they've had and be where they're at right now, no matter what happens from here on out, I'm so dang proud of them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
And
I think like there is a chance that if they win
Don't
this
say anything.
Friday.
Nope. Don't. I'm so superstitious.
Well, I was just going to say that
Knock on wood.
we host.
Yes. Yes. We know.
But you know, I
Okay.
think it goes through for all of our sports too. I mean, think about it. Volleyball was not an easy thing to do with COVID.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Think
Yeah,
about
true.
think
Because we're
about
inside.
not the tournaments you didn't get to do. You know, those things, in my opinion, you get into those rhythms of sports, and you don't have those tournaments, and you're like, it's so weird not having it. You
Well,
know?
and that was
so-
that's the best part of volleyball. Going to tournaments and
Oh,
like
yeah.
eating all that food
Absolutely.
and then like no, the
And then
parents
going
bring-
right back out on
parents
the
would
court.
load us up on food, and we're just like,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I really wish that, and you know, this is going to be kind of a shameless plug for the YouTube channel, but I mean, you know, I really did wish that we had like the full Coleman Classic, so that way, you know, we could have had like all the games there and kind of done it like what we would for the Wildcat Classic and all that. But I mean, also, you know, just shameless plug. Watch the Wildcat Network. Get all your sports here.
You know, I think one thing I've also observed with all this stuff is, like for me, my college courses, not all of them, but a good portion of them for my doctorate program was online. And I can't think but, man, if I had this as a start as a high school kid of knowing what online and in-person mixed
Yeah.
looks like,
Oh
would
yeah.
that have helped me make that jump in college a little bit, you know? 'Cause
And-
I had a transition period where it was tough doing online.
And this goes beyond the education realm too, because what was it? So I had been speaking to some of the other debate teachers, and we were talking about just like how virtual debate goes, and this was all through Zoom. And one of the other coaches, you know, I'm not going to name names, but you know, he said like we're finally doing something that businesses have been doing for ages, and that's online meetings and stuff like that. So I mean, like that gets us out there ready for the real world too. So, and you know, reminding me of the real world,
What are your girls' thoughts on that? Yeah, no? Have you felt like it's got you ready for other things, or not really, or?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like we did online in the spring,
Right.
so like kind of had to do it, but that was kind of like a mess. So it was like sudden, but
So has the everybody on Google Classroom, has that been helpful? Being able to say, I always go to, you know,
Oh.
for the most
I like
part?
Yeah, I have them in order, so I just click on my Zoom links.
'Cause that's something we identified was we need to have something you're used to getting on. And it's like, okay, every class I may have a hyperlink to go do this instead, but that's where I need to start, you know. And well, you function out of Zoom, you know what I mean? Because we all know how to use the Zoom now and this and that. And what's been crazy is with Zoom, I'm doing stuff on Zoom that I'll probably continue to do. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
We talked about maybe once not every time once we're out of COVID, but maybe once in a while still doing our site council meetings. Because a lot of parents that, you know, a parent over in Partridge or something might go, I don't want to drive
It's easier
all the
for
way
me
in.
just to get on.
I got the kids and but they can go to the other room and sit down and do a, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Zoom. So-
that's what happens in the business world too. I mean, like you get people who may or may not live in that same town or city, and they get them to Zoom in on, or to connect online remotely. I mean, conferences, there's a dedicated conference telephone for stuff like that too nowadays. So
what's the biggest challenge, I think, for you guys?
In
Student-
hybrid.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Mine is college classes.
Yeah.
Because like I can come into calculus every day, but like I don't want to drive here, drive home, drive back for practice. Like it's not challenging. It's just kind of like not.
Right.
It's one extra thing on the plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's kind of. Luckily, these last 2 weeks we've been doing like more chapter reviews and stuff, so we can do those like on Zoom. But comp is getting better. He's coming in more now with us, not like our regular schedule.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I don't know. I get more sleep in hybrids.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you gotta get up at 7:50, right? Not.
I got
not
almost an extra hour of
I know.
sleep.
Nice.
And I tell you, on a late ball game night, that's not a bad thing.
Oh
necessarily,
yeah,
I'm
I'm Tuesdays and Thursdays, so
Mhm.
I guess that's game day. So yep, I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, we also try to take and put our families kind of on the same days too. Like if you got
Yeah.
like a different last name in the household, we try to put those kids on the same day. you
Yeah.
know. So that's been something we're just trying to work with the families on. And I think the family dynamic is what's interesting too, on the idea that like I've got to me, looking at hybrid as an adult that didn't grow up with a computer or a phone in my hand has been very different. You know what I mean? And I just can't. I don't know. I think our adults see it differently than our kids do. Even our teachers, even our parents. You know what I mean? I think for you guys, it's natural, isn't it? I mean, just
Yeah, this is like this isn't
technology's
like
all right, but for
It's
us
not like
as
that.
adults, it's hard to wrap our brain around it. That it's.
really.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't realize
yeah.
that it was like
Well, I think I grew up in a high school where it was all
just face to
face
face.
to face
Yeah.
all the time.
Oh yeah, it was my generation that we were starting to get like laptop carts.
Yeah, yeah. And you're like,
And
"What?"
those MacBook airports, for internet and stuff like that. So, whew, I'm showing my age. So yeah, I mean, we still had the first generation of flip phones, the ones that that flipped open so that way you can have the screen, but there were still buttons. Nothing was smart about those phones at those times. Oh man. Well, speaking of the past now, let's let's turn our heads towards the future.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Turkey Day is coming up. That is the long forgotten holiday by generations and generations. You've heard me say this many a times. There is a war on Thanksgiving, and Christmas is winning it. I think, what is it now? Walmart has Black Friday month,
Right. Yeah.
and it already started.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today I saw the TVs run. I usually go on
So
Black
like there's
Friday.
sales.
Yeah, I
Yes.
usually go on Black Friday and buy like a good sized TV,
Uh-huh.
a backup TV here at the school. So like if a TV goes out, we got
Yeah.
an extra one every year, And I was looking, they're pretty good deals right now.
Well, and they're probably doing that because of COVID.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, to spread it out.
Okay.
But
Sure.
you know that like once COVID is over, they're just going to do it anyways.
Yeah.
It's like, well, Halloween is over. Run to Walmart to go and get your free TVs.
I've already ordered got my friends some gifts. So
Your marketing strategies, though, have got to have changed, just like our kids have changed.
Yeah.
Here it's crazy.
Yeah. I'm wondering like how much Thanksgiving is going to be changing though. I mean, like, I don't want to give up my turkey.
I think Thanksgiving will be more of the same because it's like family wise. Like
Yeah.
maybe like what Moore said, like older your parents or grandparents, like they probably can't come.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it's probably gonna be the same. I think Christmas is gonna be the one that's a little different
Yeah.
because that one's just like you have like a lot of Christmases with your friends and family and like shopping. Obviously, is gonna be different. Thanksgiving, you just eat food and watch football. It's not like
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. That is true.
Favorite Thanksgiving food?
Rolls.
Rolls.
Yeah.
Bread. That-
no ham and mashed potatoes.
Mashed
Yeah.
potatoes? Oh. man.
See, I could do mashed potatoes and like hot rolls all day long.
Green
together?
bean
Like,
casserole.
Oh yeah, you make like a sandwich with them. Sure, yeah, whatever. I mean, it's
Whatever.
whatever.
I love mashed potatoes. I don't like turkey. I'm not a fan of turkey.
What?
Like,
It's all right.
It's okay.
like it's just dry.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I like
Oh,
ham.
then you
I
got-
like ham.
You got to do it. You got to do it right then. So like for a while, my family and I, we have this Butterball. I think it was Butterball. That's the brand. We have, and if we're not allowed to put brands, I will bleep every single brand. So Walmart, Butterball, Target. No, but we have this Butterball turkey fryer. And what we do, or I say we, I mean the cook in my family is my mom. So what she would do is inject like some kind of like seasoning sauce or whatever inside the turkey itself. And man, there is nothing dry about that turkey.
Oh, see, my dad takes like hours and hours and we can never get it. So I'm just like, just make a little turkey, lots of ham. But our
Brother,
school's
yeah.
turkey,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it's so good.
Oh, I tell you, Cherie knows how to cook it up in there, man.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah.
But
Our Thanksgiving meal here is so good.
my brother does a smoker with smoked turkey.
That's what my dad
Okay.
does.
Cow, that's
My dad
good.
smokes ham.
Ooh.
Yeah, we smoke ham.
Yeah.
Now my brother did smoked cheese. I don't know about that. But
I
the
would
turkey
think
was good
if
too.
it were me, it would melt all over the coals.
Smoked pulled pork, though, is my favorite.
I'm glad that pulled pork was on the menu today.
Yeah, I had that.
Yeah, I don't know. I like stuffing too, though.
I was going to ask you something like stuffing.
I don't like stuffing.
I don't like
I don't
it.
either.
Oh, you
It's
don't?
like,
We have
It
dressing.
gives me like
Like
gets
indigestion?
stuck in my throat or something.
I can't even like smell it.
I don't
That's
like
like
any-
okra.
Oh, really?
Okra.
You don't like okra?
Okra, I don't like.
I don't like
Oh
pie that
man,
much.
pickled okra.
I love
That is
pie.
delicious.
I like apple pie.
I don't like crusted pie, so I don't like pie. Like
I
any
like
pie.
pecan pie. That's good.
Like the
Really?
crusted pie bothers me.
Oh, I don't like the crust. The filling's good. I'll eat the
Mhm.
filling, but I don't like the crust. Pie crust is gross.
If we're at home, just us three, my wife and my son, I don't know if we'll do a turkey this year, and
Yeah, if it's just us, we'll probably. I like Mexican food, so maybe just get some
that's
tacos
what
for
I was thinking,
Thanksgiving.
Oh,
enchiladas, man.
blasphemy! And this is coming from a Latino right here.
Dude,
Oh, man.
okay, he can make some ham and potatoes, but
There you go.
I'm telling you, meatloaf's what I'm thinking.
uh,
Little meatloaf,
Ew.
mashed potatoes. You guys don't like meatloaf?
no.
I mean,
Gross.
I like meatloaf, but
I'm picky.
it's Thanksgiving. That's like okay. I can understand ham. We do ham as well, but you got to go traditional.
Nah, I'm good with mixing up. Christmas though, I do want like our ham.
Yeah.
My mom makes these like peanut butter. It's not Chex Mix. It's like the sweet Chex Mix, like the Chex. You know what I'm talking about? She puts that in peanut butter, and oh, those are so good.
We eat
real?
sausage.
Like
on
peanut butter and
Christmas.
Chex mixed up?
Sausage.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
not. It's like not
You should
salty
do,
though.
like,
Chex Mix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna come by your
We,
house.
my grandma.
It's pretty good. And then I
always
make.
makes
Food, get a
I'm
plate.
good at desserts. I make the desserts.
I'm bad at cooking.
Pumpkin pie? Yes, no?
Pumpkin
It's
cheesecake.
pretty good. I've never had pumpkin cheesecake.
Pumpkin pie, it's
I had a
alright.
pumpkin muffin. It was really good.
I don't eat pumpkin pie.
It's alright.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
I
choose
only eat
it.
it with whipped cream. I won't eat it without whipped cream.
Yeah.
See, pumpkin cheesecake for me, like it mixes in the best of both worlds. Like we'll usually do like a regular cheesecake with like some like strawberry, cherry, and Jello stuff on top of it, and then pecan pie. But I put in pumpkin cheesecake, and man, I tell you what, it tastes like a pumpkin pie, but it also tastes like a cheesecake, and it is very delicious.
I
Yeah.
kind of don't like cheesecake.
Yeah,
All right, thanks, Kinley.
I
I'll just
don't
start
either.
throwing candy at you again.
Okay, I'm very
pretty
picky.
good.
Though.
Cheesecake,
I'm
I
a
mean,
picky eater.
I'll eat it, but
good.
like I wouldn't just choose like cheesecake.
Alright.
choose other things over.
Brownie out of the middle or on
I
the
like
side
brownies.
Of the pan?
Middle.
Just brownies in
Don't like the
general.
crust?
No, I don't like
Side?
brownies.
Oh, you don't like brownies?
No.
Oh, I thought you said I like brownies.
I would choose cookies over brownies all day long, though. But then
How
I
about-
choose ice cream over cookies.
Now, have you had the chocolate chip cookie that's mixed with brownie in one pan? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty
We
good.
had those at the volleyball banquet.
I don't like those. They had like my mom has made this one where it's like a brownie and then it's like cookie on top, and I don't like them.
I only
You-
like brownies
you want,
in the summer.
You want your brownie
That's
on
it.
one plate and cookie on another one?
I don't really like cookies.
Don't like.
Like it
Yeah.
depends who
Two.
makes them. Like Kinley makes these one cookies that are like the absolute bomb, but like those aren't one cookies I really like.
Just those cookies, and that's
Yeah, that's literally it. Because like they're like perfect.
The chocolate ones?
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good.
And
They're so
I'm
good.
starting to think that we should have like a Thanksgiving party in this
Do you,
class.
do you know what's better? You know what's better than a pan of brownies?
What's that?
2 pan of brownies.
That's right.
Yes.
You know that's right.
I know
you
it.
know more math, man. Good deal.
I think it's just. I think you've just been principal for here long enough
Yeah,
that
the
they
kids
know that
what's
joke.
up. Yeah, we know what's up. We know each two of them.
Oh man. All right. So, we've got food. There's football, of course.
Yep.
Thanksgiving's always known for football. We've
Yep.
got the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, which I always wake up too
Oh.
late for.
I never watched that.
I want to go to
We
it.
put
in
it
real life.
on. We put it on until the football game starts.
Yeah,
Hey, I'll tell
that's
you
like the
this.
Rose Bowl
There's
parade.
so many commercial breaks though during the parade. It's-
I know. Like, see one float commercial.
Yeah,
Okay.
literally, you see one float and it's a commercial.
I worked
And then
in,
Pikachu flies by.
Yeah.
I worked in a school district that had some pretty good success with football, and there's nothing cooler than knowing it's Thanksgiving break and you're also going to go watch a state championship game. So,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Derby.
man, we're just hoping these kids keep progressing. I tell you, the scary thing is for me is the other teams are always a challenge every year, but we also have to. Gosh, I hope nobody gets quarantined. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff. I mean, we're at that point right now where I look at some of these other schools like Dodge City and Valley Center that have had to forfeit their game in playoffs, and man, could you imagine that? That's,
No, I couldn't.
that's
I
just
can't
a
believe.
heartbreaker, And
You're making McGuire like voice crack here right now.
man.
Oh.
Sadness.
No,
it's
I'm
not
just
cool,
like,
so.
I'm so like. I told the boys, I was like, bro, I'm giving up Thanksgiving to come watch you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I would do the same thing too. So, but yeah, I mean, what is it? Salinas Central is the neutral site location for
2A?
for 2A, I believe. So, if I remember correctly.
Might be.
So,
Good turf there. So.
yeah.
Ooh, don't like
turf.
that.
Yeah,
Um,
turf's fun to play on. It's
Turf's
a little
nice.
different, but it's
I
Yeah.
don't like turf.
Why?
In softball, I hated turf.
Oh.
That's when I like broke my wrist.
Oh,
Well,
It
yeah,
depends. I like
you know.
sliding on it.
I've never played on
That's what I'm
it.
saying, like,
It's
I
real
dove,
fun.
I dove and like I just broke my wrist.
I
I'm
just
like,
think
Yeah.
it looks
okay.
cool.
Huh?
I just think it
the
looks
little
cool.
Yeah.
the little rubber pebbles.
Yeah.
They get stuck everywhere.
That black
Softball,
Yeah,
they're not
those
as
get in
bad.
my, like, my
That's
pants
awful.
somehow.
On softball fields, they don't have them as much as football.
Yeah.
When I was
But I don't like pitching on turf.
yeah.
Yeah.
When I was
don't like that, and you
coaching,
would slip and.
Yeah.
when I was coaching, I'd come home and we had light colored carpet, right?
mhm.
And I'd take my shoes off after practice, and they'd, come all over my socks and be all over come out everywhere. And oh, my wife used to get so mad. She started calling them turf turds, I believe. Don't get them turf turds on my.
Oh,
That's
see,
funny.
All right.
I was just gonna say it's like I used to play pickup soccer with a few friends over at Emporia State University. They've got a beautiful turf field over there, but man, like playing so much on just like regular grass and ground, like getting onto that, it felt like I was playing in my own living room, the carpet and all that. But I mean, it does feel nice, though. It does feel nice. So should things go well, and it's going to be like right around Thanksgiving, would we have like a big giant turkey motif dressed as a wildcat?
Oh, wow.
Well,
that's the bell, guys. Stick around next time, and I'll tell my bird story.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Have a good one, guys.